Instant funding at FTUK is what we're known for. We've been doing it a long time. Plus, it's what we do best.
So, if bypassing traditional prop evaluations is what you're looking for, then take a look at our completely redesigned instant funding program. We've introduced a new $5,000 starting balance. Each account size gives you full access to news trading, no minimum trading days needed to scale, fully flexible risk management, and best of all,
Payouts on demand. The all-new instant funding account from FTUK. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome along to FTUK's weekly catch-up live stream for Friday, the 21st of February. Good to see you. How has your trading week been? Hope all is well. As always, join our Discord and go speak to Reza in Discord if you are looking to get involved in FTUK, as always. And it's, I hope your trading week has been a particularly profitable one. It's been very busy at FTUK. There's so much that we need to get through today. It's all going to be, and it's all change. It's all change. You cannot fail to have noticed that we've changed the instant funding program. A lot of new sort of like parameters and metrics around there. There's some great benefits and features which we previewed in last week's live stream, and you've seen them there in that little promo video that we did as well. No stop losses. You don't need a stop loss. You get full access to news trading as well. All this stuff is fantastic, and you get payouts on demand as well on these accounts. They really are fantastic and very close to how we would normally suspect a retail trading account to function, obviously if it wasn't a proper account with other different rules attached to it. But it's a really fantastic new way of doing it, and I think it's going to be popular. It has been pretty popular so far. We launched it yesterday, and today I suppose is our official launch, and we got some great offers over the weekend. So we'll be talking through all of the details in terms of looking at rules. I want to look at the rules of the instant funding so you can get an idea of what you need to understand, how things have changed, some of the stuff that's in there that's, you just need to be aware of it. You need to get used to some new types of ways of working on your account. And then also as well, I want to look at the consistency scoring as well, because that's a part of how this is going to function as well, and the benefits of being a consistent trader when you get that all sorted. And then also we've got an amazing weekend offer. It's a split offer this weekend, but we're offering a great discount on the new instant accounts, and then also on all our one-step and two-steps as well. There's much to do, but before we talk about instant funding, I want to do a really cool quick preview on some new content we've got coming on the YouTube channel next week. Now, we've got quite a number of traders that are passing accounts, getting payouts at the moment. Maybe it's the time of year. It's really picked up in January. And they seem to be they're lovely guys, and they all seem to be quite happy to talk and then, agree to put their videos on YouTube. So I spoke to a couple of guys this week who are, I don't know, they're kind of, I really enjoy speaking to them. They are men after my own heart. They are both two-step traders, and they're now fully funded on two-step accounts. I'm going to play you a preview clip from each of them. This is the first guy here. This is Vishnu from India. Really nice guy. He's not been with FTUK very long. This is his first account. He's a bit of a seasoned prop trader, and he came from trading options on the Nifty in India, and he's made a transition into Forex. And wow, he's got a really interesting way of looking at the market, and the lessons that he's learnt are absolutely outstanding. So I've got a little clip for you. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it, but it is a very good interview. Have a quick look at this.
I traded. The trades were going very well, and if by any chance it reverses, my emotions got affected, and I tried to get back what I lost. So one of the main things I learned in that is like I was very much money focused. Okay, so after so many trial and error, I learned that money is not something which we need to focus in trading. We need to focus on the process, which will ultimately move into the money part. Yeah. So when I opened the FTUK account, I decided that money is not something I am going to look for. Mm-hmm. I will only look for the process, and I will only trade what I see. Not like I will not jump into trades because I want to trade. Mm-hmm. That's how I ended up in FTUK, and I completely removed this scalping and moved to the swing trading in FTUK.
That's really
That's
kind
why.
of quite a fascinating reason to then sort of like, really make that big mental shift, because that sounds like a big leap in your trading when you come to a realization and say, okay, well, actually, I need to stop looking at the money and I need to just focus on executing the process the whole time. Yeah, really, really interesting guy. And I think he made two steps give you a very unique type of trader. I love two-step traders as well because they tend to have gone through the mill. They tend to have two-step programs tend to create and breed more successful traders in the long run because it's a more challenging challenge to get through. And by Vishnu sort of changing his mindset and stopping looking at the P&L all the time, which is a very common mistake when people start trading, and just get obsessed with the actual process of it. I mean, you can see the results. It's a really, really good interview. It's quite a long interview as well, and I enjoyed speaking to him. That's going to be on the YouTube channel this week, or this coming week sometime. The next guy as well, this is a lovely guy from the United States called Michael, and I have to admit, this guy is... I felt like he was looking in the mirror. The way that he's probably the most calm, collected, precise. It's okay. He just chilled. He just got the exactly the right mental framework for how to engage with the market consistently. And it was really to do with about how the way that he actually approaches his trading. And the clip that I'll play you is about the orders, the way that he interfaces with the market when he's putting orders on. And you can tell a lot about someone's trading approach by how they get involved. You get a guy that's just clicking the button at market all the time and they're doing it 200 times a day. That's very different from someone who puts a limit order on and sort of sits back and just lets the market come to them. Yeah, I really enjoyed speaking to Michael. He's now on a fully funded 100k account now by passing the two-step, and he's been with FTUK a long time as well. And he's learned his lessons the hard way. Really fascinating guy. And here is a clip of Michael. And again, this will be coming on the YouTube channel this week. How do you then decide to sort of like manage your risk? Are you jumping in when you see a specific setup? Do you put your orders on as limit orders around the price action, then you sort of set and forget and leave it like that? How do you sort of like normally run it?
Well, I'm trying to trade smart, so I don't want to chase the market. Let the market come to me, so to speak. And it's kind of like I consider trading like lion. It's like a lion hunting its prey. So you sit and wait for the opportunity, and then you can set up a preset order, which I haven't done much of, but then you just find out where the times when the market's going to be moving, and then you pick your spot, and you obviously you have to put in your stop losses, and then you just trade away. But that's pretty much it. You're just waiting for the right opportunity and let the market try to come to you.
Yeah, I really like Michael a lot, and we spoke about the trading platforms as well, because he's had a few accounts with FTUK, or pretty much all two steps, and he tried every single platform. So I said, well, you've been through all of them, and which is your favorite? And he said, I actually quite like Match Trade the best. And I thought, I like you a lot. I like Match Trade as well. I remember reading a comment ages and ages ago. Someone put online that FTUK got Match Trader, and Match Trader was a platform for babies or for kindergarten or toddlers, toddlers I think the word was. And I thought, that's just so unsophisticated. Match Trader is an absolutely outstanding platform. It's just beautifully laid out. And I mean, I like them all. We only have good platforms at FTUK, but there's a very soft place in my heart for Match Trader, and Michael liked it as well. And I thought, yeah, I get it. So I totally tuned in with him. Again, that is a fantastic interview. You're going to want to check that out on the YouTube channel this week as well. So yeah, good stuff for this coming week. Now, let's talk about instant funding. It's been a journey. We've got the new instant funding accounts live, and there's the uptake. Yeah, the people are very, very interested in these already. We've got a great discount on them, but we talked about the features and benefits, and you'll see that on all the socials and the videos and stuff that will be plastered all over the internet, and the advertisements and the emails and stuff. It's all, the marketing engine full force. You'll see all of those benefits. But what I wanted to do was I just wanted to start to break down the rules, because for people that are seasoned traders with FTUK, if you're going to get involved in the new program, you're going to want to get used to it. And it's just, there's some changes in there. So let's just quickly go through the core rules that you're going to need to get used to. I think that once people are into it, it will work really, really well. So it's just a question of just transitioning. And, we've done instant funding a long time in a particular way. So let's start with the first one on the top of this list. These are the main rules that you're going to want to pay attention to. Minimum trading days. There are no minimum trading days anymore now on instant funding. This is why it feels like more like a retail brokerage account. It's like an open door. No minimum trading days needed whatsoever. The second one is obviously as well, there's no time limits as well. You can take as long as you like, and that's always been a thing at FTUK. Some prop firms, they'll put a limit on, you have to do this to get here, and you'd have to do it in this amount of time. That's added pressure that you don't need. Certainly on this type of account, you definitely don't need that. So no time limit is required on any of the instant funding accounts, which is good to see. The max drawdown level. Now, this has been changed. This was static. This has now been changed to a 6% trailing drawdown. Now, the way that's going to be measured, it's a high watermark, what we call a HWM, and that's going to be from the previous closing balance. That's how that's going to work. So all you basically need to do is whatever that closing balance is, that is where that max drawdown level is going to be sat. It's something that people will get used to, and if you may need to make one or two adjustments in your trading style, but it shouldn't be any it shouldn't be too much trouble for most people that really understand how to operate within the scope of an instant funding account. So I think that's just going to be a question of getting used to it. The next one is the daily drawdown limit. That has been added in here now. This is a 5% drawdown limit, and this is basically going to be based on the previous daily balance, or it's going to be on the equity, whichever is higher. So if you end the day and you've got a lot of open trades that are in profit, that 5% is going to be from the top of there, rather than if you end the day and you're carrying some losses, it's the closing balance. If that's higher, that is where that's going to be dictated from. And this does a really important job, and don't discount it. It is important, because what tends to happen when you get caught up in the market, particularly in instant funding, if you're using a lot of leverage and if you're intraday trading as well, you can get tripped up very, very quickly. What this does is it just gives you a moment to just stop and take a break and come back the next day, because it's just going to keep you in the game, just that extra bit to give you that chance. So see it as an opportunity, really, to just elongate your process rather than just because when you get caught up in that sort of that trader's sort of fog of seeing red and wanting to get your money back, that's when people tend to blow up very quickly. So it's a kind of like a sort of like a blowout preventer. Think of it like that. But that's how that is going to function. Next is the scaling target. Now, the scaling target is no different to how it was before on the other instant funding account. We have a very, very aggressive scaling program at FTUK, as most people will know. And that's not changed. It's going to carry on as it is, and that's going to be set at 10%, so there's no change in that. Now, because you're going to get payouts on demand with this, this is really to be primarily seen, this is your ability to scale, because you can withdraw your profits as and when you want, as long as you are following in the consistency parameters and everything like that. So that is fine. Scaling target is going to be at 10%, and then once you're there, if you're consistently profitable as a trader, then the team will assess it, and then you will scale up accordingly from there. That's how that's going to work. Next one is the profit split. The profit split, I think, is pretty much staying the same. I would have to double check, but I think it's staying the same, up to 80%, and it scales up as you go up. Now, we've also got an add-on here as well, and I think this is going to be very, very popular. And what this is going to be, it's going to be an extra 20% on your payout. Now, just to avoid any confusion around this is not an increased profit split of 20%. So if we're giving up to 80% profit split, that's not going to then give you 100% of the profit. No, what this is if you are doing a withdrawal of I don't know, $500, then you get an extra 20% of that $500, and that's what you're going to get. So it's an increase on the amount that you're withdrawing, and that's a really important thing to remember. And I think that's going to be popular. Worth having, certainly if you're getting those payouts on demand, it's definitely worth having. And then leverage on this, I mean, this is pretty standard. This has not really changed too much, I don't think. 30 to 1 leverage. Our main driver is obviously Forex as well, so there's plenty of firepower in there if you want to trade your currencies. News trading as well. This is a big changer as well. You got full access to news trading. There's news trading. There's no restrictions whatsoever, so you can just jump in and use that volatility on non-farm. I mean, you know, trading non-farm payrolls is not easy. It's not something that I do anymore, and you got to be careful. We always say don't carry positions into non-farm payrolls, but you know, people will try it. So if you are looking to trade the news, and not just non-farm payrolls, but also CPI prints or any of the other key economic data that gets printed throughout the month, then you can do it. You can trade the news, no problem with the instant funding. So it's really liberal. It's really open, a really open door, a nice framework to work within. And then, obviously, you know, these are pretty standard as well. Overnight holding, over the weekend holding, yeah, sure, no problems. All is good to go. You don't need to close those positions at the end of the trading day or anything like that. So you can see it gives you a lot of scope, whether you're a scalper, intraday trader, a long-term position holder, swing trader, however you want to do it. You've got full access to trade however you like on the new instant funding account. That's a good breakdown of the core rules. All of the other stuff, of course, is on the FAQs as well. So if you've got any doubts about how to operate the new instant funding account, then have a look at the FAQs. And if you're still not sure, don't forget, we've got some of the best customer support services in the prop industry, and the guys on the team that run the customer support are extremely knowledgeable, very, very hardworking, and they're very good, and they're very skilled at helping you understand some of this stuff. So if you're not sure, no problem. Jump onto the chatbot thing or email into the support email address, and you'll always get a reply, and the team is always willing to help. And if you're still not sure, we're always happy to jump on a call with you as well. There's no problem. We can always happy to explain exactly what you need to do and how things are working for you. It's no hassle whatsoever. Okay, let's now talk about consistency, because this is going to be a component of the way that the instant funding account works. This is not going to be for 1 and 2 steps. This is just going to be for the new instant funding and the new accounts that are coming down the road at FTUK, because it's not just going to be instant funding, there's more stuff coming down the pipeline as well. Consistency scoring, some people call it consistency rules. The measurements are pretty much the same, but what it's trying to do, I think the important thing to understand with this is what it's trying to achieve from traders, and it's trying to stop traders blowing up. And what the consistency scoring is doing is it's trying to promote people to trade. This is one of the guys I interviewed. You can just look at the equity curve. I mean, talk about being jealous. I mean, that's it. That's the equity curve that you want. That's a successful trader. That's a profitable, successful trader over the course of, I think that was like 3 months, something like that. Amazing, absolutely amazing. That is consistency. And what you're not getting in there is you're not getting a lot of volatility in equity, where people are just, making a mess of it for 6 months and then just making it all back on one trade. That is what you definitely want to avoid. So what we've done on the FAQ page, you'll see it on the FAQ page when you're looking at the way that the consistency scoring is going to work on instant funding. There's a full explanation on there. There's some content on there, and there's also a video. I'm going to play the video for you now. It's a few minutes long, but it's worth paying attention to because it does explain how it is calculated. You'll find it on the dashboard. I don't need to explain it anymore. It's all in the video. Have a quick look at this.
In this video, we're going to look at the consistency rule and how it applies to accounts at FTUK. Firstly, we'll run through the calculation and where to find your consistency score on the dashboard. Then we'll look at the consistency rule itself, what it does and what it allows you to do on your account. And finally, we'll explain why the consistency rule is in place and the problems that it's solving as you trade your account with FTUK. Okay, let's get started. The calculation for the consistency rule is very simple. We need to find 2 metrics. One, the trading day with the largest realized profit. This is the trading day throughout the life cycle of the account which has registered the most amount of actualized profit from closed positions. And secondly, the lifetime accumulated realized P&L. This is simply the current balance minus the starting balance. The formula works like this. Take the highest day's total profit and divide it by the lifetime accumulated realized P&L. We then multiply the result by 100 to get a consistency score percentage. When you look at your account dashboard, you'll see this number displayed on the right-hand side of the stats bar just under your account equity curve. Let's run through a real example. Imagine we have a starting balance of $10,000. On the first day, we come out with a $150 profit. Day 2, we make a $30 loss. Day 3, we generate a $200 profit. And then finally on day 4, we close with a $100 profit. Let's calculate the consistency score. We get the lifetime accumulated realized P&L by subtracting the starting balance from the current balance. In this case, that's $420. Now, we registered the highest day's profit on day 3, so we divide 200 by 420. That gives us a decimal number of 0.476. Now, to get the consistency score, simply multiply 0.476 by 100. So we know for this account, our consistency score is 47.6%. Your job as a trader is to keep your consistency score under the threshold set on the account that you're trading. Traders who are operating their accounts consistently can benefit from being able to scale their account to the next level if scaling is part of the account structure. They'll also be able to request payouts on demand with no waiting period in between withdrawals. The consistency rule will apply on instant funding accounts and all new programs developed by FTUK. Our current 1 and 2 step evaluation programs will not be affected. Finally, let's explain what the consistency rule is helping to fix and why it's been put in place at FTUK. Blowing up accounts with too much leverage and poor risk management is the reason that most traders aren't successful. The consistency score is a great way of promoting traders to focus on their downside risk and constantly think about how changes in market volatility might negatively affect their performance. This is an example of how most traders imagine their equity curve looking. Smooth, a gradual upward slope with shallow pullbacks and a modest range of volatility. However, most unsuccessful traders end up with very volatile P&L as they battle to hold their account together in trying to hit the profit target. The application of too much leverage makes this challenging, and you can see that at the end of this sequence of trades, the trader nearly lost the entire account before then finally hitting a peak in equity pretty much in one move. This is a high level of account volatility, and it's immensely difficult to sustain in a positive way over the long term. The consistency rule promotes sensible use of leverage and rewards traders who are more conservative and focused on market risk. Now, some would argue the effect of extreme volatility makes no difference as long as the account target has been hit. However, it's important to remember that at FTUK, our accounts are built to scale. So what might seem to be a completely acceptable and manageable swing in equity on a $10,000 account can be psychologically crippling on a $1 million account. This is why being consistent and promoting all trading to be consistent is so important to long-term trading success. So how do you go about working in a more consistent way? Well, as we always say at FTUK, slow your trading down and use lower leverage. Work on your trading risk management. Whilst there's no mandatory stop loss required on the instant funding accounts, it is a good idea to use one anyway. And you should always know where your stop is going to be before you enter the market. And if you're not exactly sure where to place your stop, a simple question that you can ask yourself as part of your analysis is, where in the market structure would the price need to be for my trade to be wrong? Always aim for higher profits and smaller losses so that your trading always keeps a positive risk-reward profile.
So there you have it. That's a full look at how the consistency scoring is going to work at FTUK. The actual calculations are not that complicated, pretty simple. And of course, if you are able to make sure that you're trading, adjust your trading so that you are consistent, and then you've got that long-term trajectory, those benefits are there. Scaling's not a problem. Payouts on demand, whatever it is, whenever you need it. It's a really, really good new way of looking at instant funding, and I think it's going to be very popular. That's a lot of detail that we've done today on that. So finally, your weekend offer. This is the stuff that's going to it will really help you out because we have a lot of offers all the time. We've split it this week as well. New 25 is going to be the code that you're going to want for the new instant funding program. There's a 25% discount on that, and of course you've got the add-ons on there as well. If you want to then pick and choose however you want to work with add-ons, and then that'll be added to the cost of the account. But you get on the actual account itself, you get a 25% discount. New 25 is the code that you want, and then also as well, I don't want the 1 and the 2 steps to feel neglected because that is not fair. So we have got a deal on 1 and 2 steps if that's your flavor. And yeah, because I said before, I love the 2 steps, so I think it's a cool offer this week. The marketing team have come up with BOGO 30. That stands for buy one get one free, which is I've never heard of before, so that's really cool. BOGO 30 is a 30% discount on the 1 and the 2 step programs. Any of the account sizes is fine. And then also after you've requested, if you're successful and you request your first payout, you'll then get a second free account. That's not funded, but that's another evaluation. But you get that, which is really cool. So it's a kind of like a 2-for-1 type of offer. Really, really good. Okay. That's it. That's a lot for this week for sure. Yeah, it really went through a lot of detail. The instant funding, I think it's going to be very, very popular. It was certainly a challenge getting it all live. It certainly wasn't instant, but I think it's going to be a good thing to look into over the next few weeks if you're looking to get involved in instant funding. Thank you very much for joining us today. Have a fantastic week in the markets, and we will see you all next Friday.